All right, one more thing. Last thing, functions. So functions are super useful. If you want to think about it, you don't really, you don't ever need a function when you're programming per se, but you really do need a function when you're programming. Functions are like little specific packages of code. Um, not even packages, more like just a grouping of a code, like a little bit of a little subsection of your program that say you want to use over and over again. If you want to think about, like, say I wanted to, in our tic-tac-toe game, assign a like a certain square a certain value, x or o's, right? You're going to be doing that at least 9 times throughout the game, and you don't want to be writing that code over and over and over again, because that's just extremely tedious. It's unreadable when when people are reviewing your code. They're going to be like, why do you have these things repeated? You can cut down on the code. It's not elegant. It's not a simple solution. So in Python, in programming in general, there's a thing called a function. And when we go to like object-oriented programming, there's class-specific methods, but we'll worry about the functions right now. So to create a function, you're going to do def, which is obviously short for definition, and you can name your function whatever you want. So, oh, by the way, if you want to look, I haven't really gone over the there's Python has a bunch of built-in functions, and if you want to just Google them, they're actually super useful. I think you've already seen 2 of them here. Print is one, and range is one. Those are built-in functions. But Python is really, really, really handy because they have all of these built-in functions that you guys can use. And oh, we also saw string before, when you're turning say a number or integer into a string. That's a function, built-in function. So Python has a bunch of these built-in functions, and then when you start getting other packages, they have all those super useful functions. And that's really the beauty of Python. You can write a lot of code really simply. They have a lot of built-in functions. You don't have to go in and write your own like power function. So power, for instance, would raise numbers to the power of something. So base and then exponent, just like in math. If you want to raise 2 to the whatever, like a millionth power, you could do that way. Absolute value, that one just gets the distance away from 0, just like in math. What else is there? What else are some super useful ones? Max is really useful. If you want to find the max of a, I'll show you what that looks like here. So basically, print is a function, max is a function. A function, you can tell it's a function, by the way, if there are parentheses. You have the name of the function, and then there's parentheses, and then inside of those parentheses are called parameters, and what you put inside of that dictates how it operates, or what it does, right? Or like the input you want to have. So for instance, if we uncomment out our list, and we want to find the max of the list, oh boy, this is commented now. Get rid of, yeah, let's just move this here, and then we'll comment this out here. Alright, move this down. So you have the list up here, and then you have a max, and you want to print the max of the list, for instance. In other programming language, you would have to loop through and then like set a temporary variable to the maximum, and then compare each of the other elements in that list to that temporary variable. In Python, it's much easier. You just do print max, and boom, you get 10. The max in list is 10. And if you guys are interested, like, finding the max in any list is super simple. You just write a for loop. Oh, you know what? We can write our own find max function, and you guys can see how basically if you had to write your own max function. But Python, if you want to just check this out, these are the pythondocs.org. Just Google them. These are just super useful functions that you can use every day. Obviously, there's print here, range we've already used. round for rounding, string for turning things into a string, sum, adding things, min just like max, and also there's also help, which just helps you out with all the stuff, all the Python stuff. But these built-in functions are really what make Python so accessible and so user-friendly, really. So why don't we write our own max function? So does everyone kind of get what like a function does? It does a specific operation, or has a specific use, and you saw the built-in functions, but we can also write our own, and this is where like you can do a bunch of stuff with programming. So like I said before, def, and def is for definition when you're defining a function. So we can do we'll do my max, and inside of my max you're gonna want to put a, say like a list, right? Because that's what you're going to be putting into the function as an input. So what this is called is a parameter, and you can make up your own parameters, whatever you would like. You don't even have to have a parameter. For instance, if we want to just, oh, by the way, if you don't want your function to do anything, or you don't want your code to do anything, you can just write pass in. It just doesn't do anything. But say we have just like, we can have any function you want, really, like a print poop function or whatever, right? This wouldn't be useful at all to us, but because you can just do print. But say you want to print poop a lot of times, and you want to have a specific function for that for some reason. William, you have any other examples that are super simple? But it doesn't matter, I guess.
You could like input a list and then just loop through the list to find some value.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that one has a parameter. I just want to show without a parameter. Parameters are like, you need parameters, but this is like as simple as it's gonna get. This is not even useful for your coding, because you can just save a line and write print poop. But say you want to have a function that prints poop. So you write this function, and I believe you're supposed to, yeah, I believe in Python you define your functions and then you go. I think in Java you write your code and you define your functions underneath. I don't think it really matters though. Anyways, you have a definition for a function now. So you've already written it. Remember, we have parentheses, we have a colon, which indicates that this is inside of the function. And now if we want to call your print poop, all you have to do, just like printing, the ID recognizes that as a function, by the way, and all you have to do is that. It's just giving me an error. Doesn't matter. Oh, I think it's a spacing error. Yeah, it wants me to add more spaces. Anyways, so now we just called the function, and if we run this, you're gonna get poop. So now you can run this over and over again as many times as you want, wherever you want in your function. And this hasn't really saved us any lines, but say we want to print like, no, I don't know. This is just a simple demonstration of what a function is. But basically that's what a function is. I'm just trying to demonstrate that you don't need a parameter, but you do need these parentheses, or else it doesn't understand what you're trying to do. And if you're looking at code, whenever you have these parentheses and parameters inside, you know it's a function.